Or
she
people that
was
spend money a lot of times.
stuck
And if
in
you put money in
Hawaii
their pocket, we saw a big
Monday.
during
Fix it, get it to Mayor's
I think she made it to it, may have made it home yesterday,
down
maybe.
payment. People came in and put down payment.
Oh, Jeff Brandon.
So anything that, yeah, yes, but no, we have a lot of Sun City customers, thank goodness. We have a lot of kind of all ages.
Please don't do the pledge.
You do, and if you get money, you just put it in the bank or
Well, I'll do
something.
one.
But young people know what money's for, thank
We'll
goodness.
make Facebook rounds in a matter of minutes. Please, God, don't let her screw nothing up today. Amen.
Exactly, but yeah,
Just,
I grew up.
you think I'm
I
kidding?
understand.
I do not think you're kidding. I think you are dead serious.
I can imagine.
I am.
So those spenders, thank you. I need-
You're gonna have those.
Got to, got to.
He's always somebody.
She's doing well, she's fresh. You know, she's about 3 years old.
Y'all had
Yeah,
it now.
you did this right
She's
now.
baby, yes, yeah, we got her when she was about 3 months
Second
old.
worst places for sure,
Somebody, how do you do it?
unless the weather's bad.
But that's okay. You have to look yourself in the shoe. And that's important.
You understand, you've been there and you understand
Been there, done that.
the convictions is so important.
Yeah, flag
Morning,
attack.
lady.
Come on, how are you?
Good, how are you? Missed you last time.
Yes, I'm glad to be present today.
Yep, there we go.
Glad to see you, I was
Mike's
beginning to
on.
get worried.
Well,
I
it's the
had a
same
little
thing I
bout with
said.
that, but I'm fine now, thank you.
Well, good, you look
And
good.
I hope I'm fine.
Where's Jeff?
Right on time. Morning.
Hey, we gotta wait on that kid in the back of the class. Sorry about that.
Okay, there's 7 of us.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call the regular meeting, the May 21st regular meeting of the Water and Sewage Facilities Authority to order. We're going to lead off with the invocation given by Miss Wanda Howell and followed by the pledge to the flag by Mr. Clay Davis.
Heavenly Father, thank you so much for giving us this beautiful day, giving us this opportunity to come and serve and to affect the future of Spalding County. Make us ever mindful of what we do that matters so very much. In Christ's holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in the pledge to our flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you both. Moving on, let me read this so I can actually read it. Moving on to item 4, the presentations. We're handing out some presentations today for recognition of service. The first one is for Mr. Gregory Elliott, who has worked here for 15 years. That's a long time to put up with somebody.
Yeah, come down and get your picture taken with Mr. Ellis.
I figure we all go up there in a second and get them all. What do you think about that? Or you want individuals?
Oh, everybody at once.
You want everybody?
They're gonna do everybody at once.
Next person on the list I am not familiar with. We have a Charlie Hearn present. 10 years of service. Miss Hearn?
It's 50 years of service.
Wow, that's
50 years.
That's amazing.
Last but not least, 5 years, Mr. William Ballard. If everybody would come down here for a group photo, please.
Thank you. center spot, so.
There you go, tell them, Clay.
That's one more, all right. We'll move over. Let's get everybody in the picture. One, if you can't see, Erica and the camera, she can't see you.
Right.
Miss Fanny.
Miss Fanny, you're gonna have to come up front,
Miss Fanny, step over here.
and then y'all are gonna have to scooch in.
Yes, you're a little shorter than me. Height's a challenge, like me. You get people like Cal back there.
I'm so used to being here.
Get everybody in there.
Yes, I see everybody's faces. All right. we got Dick, I ready? may be the only one that heard that.
1, 2, 3. All right, thank you.
There you go. Thank y'all.
Good job.
Great job.
Well, thank you, Brian, anyway.
Congratulations, Charlie.
Thank you so much.
Now that Monday's over with, that was, Monday was tough for me.
I may have been the only one that heard your eye candy remark, but
Yes,
it
don't
amused
worry
me.
about it. The second half.
You know.
Thank you all.
Come on, find somebody else.
That's right.
Thank y'all. All right.
Chairman,
Yep, item 5, motion to adopt.
if there's no objection or no changes, I should say, I move we adopt the agenda as presented.
Got a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Second, all in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, it's, how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7-0. Next item up is citizen comments.
No citizens here, just that band.
All right, we're gonna move on to minutes. Consider approval of the following meeting minutes. The April 16th, 2025 regular scheduled meeting. April 16th, 2025 executive session meeting. April 30th, 2025 special call meeting.
Is there any objection to approving all three at once?
I have no.
Mr. Chairman, I move we do so.
A motion on Mr. Morrow, do I have a second? Got a second by Mr. Davis. All in favor, please raise your hand. Unanimous? 7-0. Next item, consider acceptance of the following meeting minutes. May 7th, 2025 Planning Committee, May 14th, 2025 Finance Committee.
Mr. Chairman, with no objection, I move we accept both sets of minutes.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? Unanimous, 7-0. I'm moving faster than I can write.
That's the plan.
Next item, general manager's report. Consider acceptance of general manager's report as presented.
So the customer summary report, we're up 312 customers over the fiscal year. Our water sales is tracking 7.5% above our budgeted estimate. The non-revenue water, we received the updated water loss sheet from the city of Griffin dating back to January, and it looks like January through April, we're under the average number of non-revenue water events, so that's good.
That's being below average floods.
It is. Meter sales, meter sales are a little behind schedule, and after looking at our sales and the county's permits, it looks like things are starting to kind of calm down a little bit. So we'll see if things pick up in May, but it looks like we're probably going to be down this fiscal year. And then the fire hydrant maintenance summary report, our staff as of Friday is 34% complete. We are behind schedule in that 6-month window. I'm still confident that we will handle all fire hydrant maintenance. It just may not be within that 6-month window. It may go into 7 months, but it'll be addressed by the end of the calendar year. Moving on to the projects. Update on the sewer projects. As of next week, we will have closed 6 of the 12 easements and acquired or easements and or land acquisition for the sewer project. We'll have, we think one is in the queue, one is pending, and a couple of them are, they're causing us some heartburn. So more to come on that, but the easement acquisition process is moving speedily, and we think that it's gonna happen by our July 18th deadline. Regarding the upcoming 2025 bond series issuance, we met with the Moody's rating agency on Monday. We will get our rating on the bond on June 2nd at 10 a.m. Looking ahead with the schedule, so the rating's going to happen on June 2nd. Raymond James is going to price the bonds on June 10th. We have to have a special called meeting within a 12-hour window. So what I would recommend we do is, we already had a finance committee planned for June 11th. We turn that into a special called meeting where we'll need to adopt the, what's the specific language? The supplemental bond resolution. So a lot's happening in the next couple of weeks. And that's all I have regarding projects. Are there any questions?
That's June 11th, you said?
Yes.
Chairman, I move we accept the manager's report.
Second.
We got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, unanimous, 7-0.
8-0. Ms. Glenn.
Oh,
I raised mine up too.
she done snuck in on me.
She's just getting back on our time.
Trying to be awake.
Japan. Next item, financial report. Consider acceptance of the financial statements period ended April 30th, 2025, as presented by Deputy County Manager, Miss Erica Dye.
Morning, Erica. Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
It's the first time seeing this.
Yeah. All right. Good morning, everyone. I would just like to provide a quick financial update for the month ending April 30th, 2025 for the Spalding County Water Authority. Total revenues are at $9,715,320, while expenses total $9,440,988, resulting in a surplus of just over $274,000. As expected, the largest expenditure continues to be the cost of water, which accounts for $4,944,132. Looking at the cash position, the combined balance in your United Bank and Truist operating account stands at $4,811,007. Additionally, the money market investment accounts at United Bank total $12 million, and they are currently earning a favorable return. The depreciation reserve remains at $972,325, and the 2015 bond sinking fund has an ending balance of $1,091,075. And lastly, I am pleased to report that the total excess revenue for fiscal year 2025 as of April 30th currently stands at $344,683. And I also wanted to note, yesterday as I was doing the research to prepare for the financial reports, I printed out our Excel worksheets that I do every single month for the interest that you guys are gaining in your accounts. And I just wanted to note, I know Joseph, you could probably back me up on this, but in the one of the United Bank Water Authority reserve accounts, just for fiscal year 2025, you guys have earned $266,000. And in the other United Bank account, for fiscal year 2025, you guys have earned $194,000 just in interest. And then in the $1 million that we moved over out of the operating account into an account separate at Truist, you guys have earned $2,300. So I just wanted to note that because I thought that was really good as far as the interest rate, the return that you guys are.
Up towards $500,000.
Yes, sir. Just for fiscal year 25.
So where do we count that? I mean, I know you said
expenditures over revenues, the difference is about $200,000. Does that not include that, or is that it's an additional?
It is, the line entries that are made, on the bookkeeping side, it goes into a cash account, and then the offset is gonna be a revenue account. So it's gonna be in the cash balance as well as on the revenue side. For all the interest-bearing accounts that you guys have.
Okay, but it's not reflected here on this report.
Yes, ma'am. It's part of the revenues.
It's revenue, it's in the numbers.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, it's part of that 9.7 million.
okay.
Yes, ma'am. And that concludes my presentation.
Thank you, Erica.
Thank
We
you.
like that information. That's all been good.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Chairman, I move we accept this very positive
Second.
report.
We have a
Second.
motion to accept. I got a second by Mr. Davis. Any further discussion? Not hearing any. Please raise your hand in favor. All opposed? Unanimous, 8-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to special committee report. Planning
Chairman.
Committee, Mr. Morrow.
We had quite a robust meeting, went well. They very briefly touched on the fact that inmate labor contract is being reconsidered through the county. Nothing present. We deferred any further discussion until one day, should something change.
Okay.
Number two, email addresses. We're all gonna have the new email addresses for the Water Authority. Where does that stand while I'm at it?
They're ready as soon as, everybody's in consensus. We're pushing them out today.
Okay, and for those who might not have heard, reason to have our own Water Authority emails separate from our personal ones in case of any legal issues. The call for the
Open records.
open records is the word, okay, thank you. Would take all your personal emails and put them under the call for open records. So if we restrict our business from this authority to a separate account for the Water Authority, then that's the only one that's open to a call for the open records request. So it saves us a lot of personal grief, and all your emails to your girlfriends and things won't be part of it, so. That's
Aren't we
moving
kind of
forward.
locked into that anyway? Because going forward, yeah, it will cover us, but it doesn't cover us for all the stuff we've already emailed.
Correct. So what we're trying to do is right the ship.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and plus it's a little bit more professional, doing business with people and stuff, and some Spalding County email address.
I wasn't able to make the meeting, but what platform is that gonna be? Is that Outlook or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the domain will be at sewa.us.
Just as a reminder to everybody, Charlie will start using it, I imagine, and you gotta be able to go check that one. So if you only open up your email on your personal account, you're gonna be missing the ones that Charlie sends to you. So it's just, having gone through this, you gotta, okay, I gotta remember that Charlie's sending it on the other side.
And we'll
Parker-
follow up. We'll
Parker-
follow up with you.
Parker has graciously volunteered to assist anybody to get this set up.
Thank you, Parker.
So does this notification here do that we're okay with it? We have a consensus to do that? I guess there's no issue? All right. Number three on our report was the updating where we stand with the RFP for grant writing engineering services for the CDBG grants. That project is standstill, it's expired at the moment, and there is no CDBG project ongoing at the present, and won't be unless something changes. And last but not least, our manager has negotiated agreement with the city to take temporary sewer from the developer out there on High Falls until we get our sewer plant completed and available, and then they'll switch back to our customer, which is I would say, I like the move that we could work with the city on this and help this gentleman out, get his project built, and keep him as a customer, and we'll switch him over at the appropriate time. So, are there any questions? If not, that's the report, sir.
All right, moving on to the Finance Committee report, Mr. Clay Davis.
We met on 14 May. We discussed 3 issues and received consensus on all 3 of them. The first one was the hardship policy for capital recovery fee. We'll vote on it in new business. The email policy we talked through to make sure everybody understood it was the second. And then we had an update on the 1986 feasibility study by Garver, trying to get back to where we need to go and what the long-range view is. Once again, we received consensus on that, and we'll vote on that in new business also. That's it.
Chairman, I neglect to say, we agreed on consensus on all of our issues, including number 4, which we'll vote on, so.
Okay. All right. Everybody wrapped up? Everybody good? All right, moving on to new business. Consider approval of the City of Griffin, Spalding County Water Authority Sewer Wholesale IGA.
Chairman, I move we approve this issue as just discussed.
Second?
Got a motion by Mr. Morrow, a second by Mr. Davis. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? 8-0, unanimous. Second item, consider approval of the water capital recovery fee hardship policy as recommended by the Finance Committee.
Make a motion to approve?
I'll second.
I got a motion by Mr. Davis, a second by Mr. Morrow. Any further discussion?
I do have a question. Would someone recap what that actually is?
I'll let Joseph handle that.
So the hardship policy was, it was written around providing some temporary relief. It doesn't reduce the cost. It just spreads it out over a 12-month period. And what'll have to happen is anybody that wants to apply for it would have to submit justification showing there's various things on was it an unexpected death, was it a loss of a job, was it some type of medical emergency where they provide justification. We would review it and then we would figure out if it's accepted or not accepted. But it's definitely a policy that we're not anticipating it being widely used. So this was an avenue. It was when we were talking, I guess it was 2 or 3 months ago when the water capital recovery fee was implemented. There were certain board members that said we should probably have a policy ready to help in the event that there are some circumstances that warrant it.
It's a payment plan, basically.
Right, but I guess I'm confused because you're saying that if a new water customer comes online and that's either for a new build or what?
Or a well that went dry.
Was out, for instance, and you had to switch over to county water. There are folks out there that couldn't afford that cost of capital recovery all at once, so this allows them to pay it over time.
So, and you said the criteria for determining that is medical hardship?
So you have job loss of income, or job loss or income reduction, medical emergency, natural disaster, death in the family. We ask you to explain your situation, and then there's an income verification section. And it's not just, we're not just going to accept that you say, well, hey, this is how much I make. You're gonna have to justify it.
You also have to be a residential customer.
So what this policy in my mind was kind of the target audience is the single family, the single parent family that was on a well. The well was now contaminated or no longer worked. They need to get attached to county water. There's not only going to be the capital cost recovery fee, there's going to be a meter fee, there's going to be replumbing required. So there may be a justification if they're on Social Security income and they make $1,000 a month and we're asking them to pay $2,300 just to get access to our water. That's the type of customer I think this is really geared towards.
And you're saying that we're offering a payment plan over how long?
12 months.
And how are we gonna police that?
It's gonna be our staff, because the city of Griffin, we're not running it through their billing system. So it's something that we're gonna have to police ourselves. So Charlie would, set up the infrastructure. We would send them a bill. It's gonna be a lot of burdensome on us.
Yeah, I'm just, the mechanism of it doesn't make sense to me. Because if it is going to add additional cost to us and reduce what income we're gonna be getting because it'll be spread out over time, then you have all these variables about, well, clearly if someone says it's a medical emergency, how do you really know because you can't get the medical information because of HIPAA violation? So, I mean, and we have the same thing if someone comes to us with a medical hardship. They don't come in and say, I have a heart problem. We have to have a doctor to say this person is ill and needs attention. So I hear what we're saying. I think a lot of the details are missing on how it's going to be executed. And then I don't know that we've really thought out enough how we're actually going to do that. Because if someone pays 2 months and then don't pay the rest of the time, what are we going to end up sending them to a credit agency because they didn't pay their bill? So, good idea, I'm saying, and I'm not saying not to approve it, but I would have just hoped that there would be not just that we're fixing it, how are we going to manage it is the bigger part.
We have this hardship policy that they worked up, and I think Stephanie was involved in it, that probably answers some of those questions, maybe not all of them.
Yeah, if they don't pay, they won't have water.
We can't cut their water off. It says.
We take the meter out.
I mean, I get all that, but you know, how many times do you miss paying before that happens? Is that in the policy?
Well,
And
when it's.
and who knows that they've missed, other than Charlie, who is doing all the other
Yeah, we have
stuff
to
that
keep,
she does.
we have to keep track of it.
Huh?
We'll have to keep track of it each month.
I hear you saying that. You're saying we, but
Yeah.
you're saying her, who is already doing all of the administrative stuff for the water authority. I'm just verbalizing my
Well,
concerns. I wasn't at the meeting, so I mean, forgive me for that.
No,
But
I totally see the issues you're bringing up,
I agree.
but it's a case-by-case basis, and, you know, in my mind, that's gonna limit the cases, that in itself.
Either this or nothing, so.
wait, no, I'm not, and I'm not saying that it can't be tweaked.
Yeah.
And
But-
as it's written, I mean, some of it is intentionally broad because we're giving the general manager broad discretion. We don't wanna try and determine every possible, thing that might happen because we never will be able to do that.
It'll be the size of that budget over there.
But understanding that because we're an authority and we're now starting to make subjective decisions, meaning that you might do it for me, but you might not do it for somebody else, it sets us up for liability
Well,
as well.
it gives, I don't see any liability issues here because it does give them the right to appeal to you. So, I mean, but it first gives the general manager the discretion
Mm-hmm.
to based on the information that they provide, and that, you're right, we have to, I mean, we're not going to be trying to get a release for medical records or anything
Yeah.
like that. We're going to ask them to provide us with whatever records we need, and it also gives a wide latitude as to what documentation you can request, that Joseph and his office can request to make the determination as to whether or not there really is a hardship.
I will say in our discussion, we had a lot of questions also, but I think we felt that we needed in place to have a heart, if somebody has a problem, if we need to adjust it.
Oh, I agree that there will be situations, just as what the example was, where people will need that.
We give it a short timeline too, so that we're not working on an extended time frame for making decisions. So we've got about a 15-day window of the decision's gonna be made, and if you're not happy with it, then it's gonna be up to the property owner to take whatever next steps they deem necessary.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna vote against it, I'm just simply sharing what my concerns are,
Mm.
based on what this
It's gonna be a
document.
headache.
A big headache.
In that case, may I move that we approve?
I think we already have a motion.
We have a motion and a second already.
Okay.
Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed? 8-0 unanimous. Motion carries. Next item, consider approval of the TOF task order for, what's
Yes.
TOF?
Task order form.
Task order form. I think of four for some. Task order form for the 1986 sewer feasibility study. That's not sewer.
Okay.
Update.
Motion,
That's not sewer.
Second?
No, it's not
Hang on, hang on.
sewer. It's the water.
Water.
feasibility study. Yes.
Consider approval of the, we need to amend the agenda? No,
No,
okay.
just as long as the motion's correct.
Consider approval of the task order form for the 1986 water feasibility study update in the amount of $87,438.00 as presented by Garver, as recommended by the Finance Committee.
so moved.
I'll second.
Got a motion by Mr. Davis, a second by Mr. Morrow. Any further discussion?
Yes, some public elaboration on what that is.
That, you want,
So, we found a study that was conducted, in the seventies and then updated in the eighties for the water system for, the Spalding County Water Authority. And what it entailed was, it was basically a plan that put the water authority on a path of getting into the water business. So it looked at a water plant, looked at a reservoir, it showed a major loop around the county, 3 tanks. The tanks, the lines have all been installed. There's just a small portion of the loop that needs to be put in, and that's actually on the CIP over the next 20 years. So it's the study getting ready for the contract renegotiation with the city of Griffin. We have roughly 20 years to get our authority in line with how we're going to, what we think that contract's gonna look like at the expiration. So the study is gonna look at validating the reservoir, the plant, the water withdrawal, determine if the state would even have the appetite to approve a new withdrawal permit on a body of water. So that's what this study is gonna look at. And Garver, now that we have an updated water model, we can kind of incorporate all the knowledge of our system today, validate the study to determine, hey, is the reservoir size, is it still adequate? The plant, if I'm not mistaken, if memory serves me correct, it was roughly 8 million gallons a day. Well, our average day demand right now is about 2.4. So that gives us a pretty significant safety factor. So that's what this study's about.
So we're gonna update this study, or we're gonna do a task order form for a new study?
The task order is taking the study and revising it based on today's needs and today's costs, and to validate if this project could even get the permitting required from the state and federal agencies.
Update.
So, but this is like a 30-year, this was done 30 years ago, right?
1986.
So, we were only like 70% water covered.
And when this
In
study was
86?
done, the only, we didn't assume the county's water system until 87. So this study was kind of a preemptive study done in order to kind of set the trajectory for the water authority.
And have we done anything based on that?
Absolutely. So the tanks, the Sunnyside tank, the Rover and Jordan Hill, and a 12-inch loop. So yes, a lot of stuff has been done based on that plan.
Okay.
Done in 1986, we could have built the reservoir, the water plant, the tanks, and run all the lines for $3.8 million.
Don't we wish?
It's crazy. It is crazy.
But the reason this is here, Glenn, is because the reservoir and the water plant is located in what's about to become a high growth area of the county. If we're gonna do anything with it, we need to figure it out now.
So what reservoir are we talking about?
It's,
One that was part of this plan that was supposed to have been built.
Doesn't exist yet.
oh yeah, it doesn't exist.
It was in the plans.
And reservoirs are not easy to permit, so that's what this update's gonna do, is it's gonna validate sizing, and we're gonna start, making contacts with state agencies to even determine if there's any appetite for it. But I can tell you, this region that we're in, it is a water-starved region. The Flint River, the Upper Flint watershed's already a water scarce area. So this would actually fall outside the Upper Flint watershed. This would be in the Mulgi. So there may be some opportunity here.
And it helps.
What this could do is, there's a big interbasin transfer brouhaha in the legislature. And since half of our water that we take out of Flint goes to the Mulgi system, this would put one in the Mulgi system and stop the interbasin transfer. So, there's a lot of big picture issues that might or might not even be feasible.
It's about
Okay.
it's about a decade
How
to
long
build
do-
and fill a reservoir. It takes about the permitting, land acquisition, getting the approvals from the feds, the state. I mean, it's about a decade process. That puts us with 10 years left on the water contract, if
I
we
think
actually
if-
move
if-
forward and build it.
If I could guess what the EPD will think, they'll look at this and say, that fixes an IBT issue, or we're not even going there. So you at least know where you stand.
What's the timeline?
So what, for this update?
Yeah, I mean, if this TOF goes through for Garver,
120 days. So we're talking, we should know June, July, August, September, in the October realm.
thank you for sharing that.
Did we have a motion? I forgot.
Yeah, you did. I
We do.
asked on the discussion.
We do by Mr. Davis and a second by Mr. Morrow. Any further discussion?
Short-term memory struggles.
No further discussion. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, motion carries unanimous, 8-0.
Almost as bad as my long-term memory.
Oh, I got the plug.
Moving on to other business, the next regular scheduled meeting will be held on Wednesday, June 18th, of 2025. That happens to be my birthday, Joseph, if you want to bring me a cake. Moving on to secretary treasurer comments.
None?
Back up that 1 minute. I thought are we changing that schedule from the 18th to the 11th?
So that is,
We're
we
gonna
can,
have both 11th and an 18th.
we can discuss, so right now, we have to have a meeting, a special called meeting on the 11th.
Right,
So,
That was gonna be the finance committee meeting we was gonna do on the.
right, but you're having a call meeting for the full board,
Mhm.
potentially, so you're gonna have the 18th as well.
just know if we move the meeting up, there's gonna be some reports that we're not gonna have available because we don't get data. So as long as the board is okay with having,
We're gonna have,
Deferring those.
we're gonna have the funding that day, we're gonna execute the contracts.
oh yeah, no, we gotta
So,
have
We
it.
gotta have it.
No, we gotta have it, because we
You're
were
gonna
gonna,
have both
yeah.
days,
Mhm.
okay.
But it's over after that.
Well, maybe.
Give them some hope. Any other discussion? No. Secretary treasurer comments?
None.
General manager comments?
I was just gonna reiterate the special called meeting on the 11th. And the reason why we have to have the 18th is because we're going to approve the GMP costs at that point, because we'll have the funding from, the bond proceeds would have settled by that date.
That's all you got.
That's it.
Authority member comments, Ms. Fanny?
Yes, sir. Or, my apologies for missing so many meetings recently, but, cause Arthur has not been kind to me, so I have those visits sometimes, but that's beside the point. But I just wanna say thanks to, general manager, staff, and the committee for looking at what I view as a need for our community. This hardship assistance policy, I think is great, because there are many among us who cannot, we have emergencies and we can't afford what we need. So this, to me, as I have read it, it shows that you have thought about what's happening to our people, and sometimes government authorities don't do that. thank you for doing that. There are those among us who, I think somebody mentioned about the social security checks and whatever. I know people who can hardly pay their utility bills or buy groceries. So if I were to need water and I can't buy, I think I would be in a bad position if I couldn't get it. So this to me is very, very, very important. So kudos and thank you so much for your consideration and your compassion. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Cal? Nothing? Mr. Davis?
From a finance standpoint, this next 60 days is big deal. Please focus every bit of attention you can on what we're doing. We're getting ready to really sign off on a whole bunch of stuff. And this is where we don't blink. And if we're gonna blink, we gotta do it at the right time. So everybody, please focus on the finance side. We don't usually like to do that a lot, but this is the time to focus over the next 60 days. That's all I've got.
One. Jeff?
No comments.
Just the back of the class? Showed up? Go ahead.
I will not be here on the 18th.
Okay.
But I'll listen in somehow.
I will also be out of town on the 18th for the business of GADA meeting.
That's two demerits.
Well, I'll come twice, how long it'll be.
But I will be here on the 11th.
Mr. Principal.
That's a critical date.
I'm going back to this feasibility study again because I remember the stress we went through to renew this contract with the city of Griffin. And to have a study that allows us a 20-year window to figure this out, whether we continue that partnership or we go our own separate way,
Or maybe do something jointly.
I think it's extraordinarily important that you have this long-term goal to sort this out. And 20 years is better than 20 weeks to try to figure it all out. So I'm interested to see what it says.
I am too.
So I'm done.
I don't have anything other than I appreciate everybody getting here. Like Joseph said, we got two very important meetings coming up. I do not believe we are gonna have to have an executive session today, is that correct?
That's correct.
Mr. Chairman, I move we adjourn.
Second?
Got a motion adjourned by Mr. Morrow, a second by Mr. Davis. All in favor, please raise your hand. All opposed, motion carries unanimous. We are adjourned.
So I can't about